You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show, a wrestling podcast with attitude.
I know what you're saying. You're saying, what the hell, Joe? You made a half-ass video the other day, and then you basically talked about monetize this, and you didn't make any videos today, and now you're making a half-ass video now and talking about Corrupted. But we'll talk about Corrupted podcast in a minute, because it's about to happen in about 5 seconds, in 5 minutes. But I'm going to talk about Perry Saturn tonight on Corrupted, so for any of the wrestling fans out there, I'm going to show a little clip of him. Not long, because I didn't interview him because he was just so all over the place. And you're going to see what I mean when I talk about this clip tonight on the Corrupted podcast, which is mainly not wrestling, but this is so funny that it's definitely could be part of it. The other thing, there's a lot of news today in wrestling. So I'm working on something for tomorrow. There's definitely tomorrow a State of the WWE coming out tomorrow. And on the State of the WWE, we're going to go over a whole lot of different things. And then probably I'm going to be ending the State of the WWE, and I'm going to go into my AEW podcast, which is brand new. And it's going to be launching on iTunes and everything, and that's going to be potentially long form on Patreon, but the shorter version will be free for everybody on iTunes. So that will be big, but again, we will need your support to keep going with all these things, so I hope you check out patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. The link is on your screen right there. Get the app, whatever the case is. You guys keep the show going, keep certain co-hosts available. And right now, we could use that support to get certain people back on the show and things like that. But so Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett, I'm very aware of what happened with them. Briefly, I'll talk about it. Then I'll go really into it tomorrow on the podcast. I have no idea where this report's coming from. 5-year contract from Maria and Mike Bennett, or Kanellis as they're known in WWE. I just can't believe that these two are going to sign for that long. It's almost incredible to me. I almost wonder if they worked the WWE and milked the WWE to get something done because it was so godly. And they basically reached out to AEW and they said, well, we're not sure what we have for you yet. We're not really sure what we're going to have for you yet. I'm sure something will happen. And maybe they reached out to other places and the contracts were certainly not as lucrative. I can't believe Ring of Honor didn't jump at them. And then WWE probably made them the offer they can't refuse. That's the only thing I can think is that Mike and Maria like their, I don't know, it seems like Mike started to complain more recently. They got more angry on social media. And maybe they were doing that to throw the lifeboat out to AEW. And maybe AEW kind of, called the bluff or didn't really have all that much for them anyway, And, seems like the kingdom's been left out to dry. Seems like those colors are more for Ring of Honor than anything else. And I'm sure Ring of Honor is in no position to be able to deal with them as far as the signing. So, I don't know. If these rumors are true, assuming they are, 5 years in WWE, my God, man. That's some crazy stuff. I'm going to do some digging as much as I can, but oh my goodness. I don't know. But anyway, also may have the, speaking of Ring of Honor and Mike Bennett, his former tag team partner and one of his best friends ever, the Ring of Honor champion, Matt Taven, maybe joining me this week. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll let you guys know more about that. That can be a fun time. Of course, he is my neighbor, so it's not that hard to get a hold of Matt Taven. So that'll be fun. And yeah, so reportedly right now, so many wrestlers are reaching out to AEW, so much. Can you imagine Cody Rhodes' inbox at this time? People are thirsty in WWE to get the hell out of there. It's incredible because, we've heard from so many people like Lacey Evans, like Mick Foley, like Road Dogg, and so many other people who have said that, I'm crazy, and that basically the things that I've been joking about and saying I'm crazy and I'm an asshole, and that they're making it. And Velveteen Dream as well, which I believe, by the way, I think he has a good point about a lot of things he said. He really does. I think it's hard. You have to realize where the line is. Right? To me, you have to realize where the line is. At what point do you have value, and do you realize I'm going to stick around as long as I can? And if I give it my all the time, even if I'm not booked the way I see myself being booked, if I give it my all, I'll always have a position and I can always grow, and I'm going to take the risk of that. But then there's other people who did do that, like Wade Barrett, and it didn't work for him. They shut it down. Or like Rusev, who constantly gets something over and then they shut it down. So you have to make that evaluation. Hey, when they give me some shit, when they give me garbage, and I turn garbage into flowers, do they come by and chop the flowers down? Or do they pick the flowers up and hand them to me and say, run around now with them? You know, and if that's the case, if the WWE is chopping your legs out every time you succeed or you success something that they gave you that should have been dog shit, then I guess you stay in the company because, listen, hey, whatever they throw at me, I'm going to turn it into gold and I'm going to make some money and this is going to be a good time. But if WWE is chopping your legs off every time you make something succeed that should never have, then I think you would want to leave because there's nothing you can do then. At that point, the brass ring to me is a lie. They're holding the brass ring up, and then as soon as you're able to get it, they pull it away from you. And they say, oh, just kidding, let's take that away. So there's where I lie with all that stuff. What do you guys think about that? But anyway, if you're listening to this now and you're done listening to this, that means we probably are just starting the Corrupted podcast right now live on my Patreon. A lot of you guys are $5, $10, $15, $25, $50, and $100 patrons. And a lot of you guys are $1 or $2 patrons. But yeah, for $1, you guys can listen to the YouTube link tonight live and listen to us record the podcast. And for $2, you can listen live, but you can also get the MP3 download of the file you want for Corrupted as well. So I invite you guys to come listen to Corrupted. If it's your first time listening to it, come listen to it. And not only come listen to it, but once you drop once you drop $2, actually, if you drop $2 a month, it's $2 a month. If you drop $2 a month for the first time, you can go back and download all 100-something other episodes. Okay, easily from the Patreon website or much easier from JoeCroninShow.net. So easy, you download all the Dropbox files or you can just play them from Dropbox. Whatever, you own all the episodes. Make a folder on your computer, make a folder in your phone, whatever. You get just hundreds of hours of entertainment. It's a comedy podcast. We get into some real talk discussions, but we do a lot of goofing and comedy, and there's a lot of shock humor and stuff like that. So, you know, sort of what you see sometimes from some of the other shows maybe, but we don't have live donations. We don't have anything like that. So it's just us talking. It's a podcast, and there's no real wrestling talk. So if you want to escape wrestling, play a video game, listen to the podcast, come join us. It's a good time. There's going to be at least probably usually between 70 to 100 people live viewing, chatting in the chat on YouTube. Some people don't chat. They just put it on and they hang out. But anyway, just wanted to let you know I have a whole lot more wrestling talk coming out tomorrow because there's so much going on. And I can't wait to do it with you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Good night. And again, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. It's popping up on the top right as well as some other videos.